Let's take a look at how to put together a crystal healing board. And firstly, this over here is just a piece of blue velvet, and I'm using it on top of a wooden tray. And I do like to have a tray that has a big lip like this, because then when I carry the tray, the stones don't spill over. They do tend to slide around a little, and so that lip is helpful. If it's too deep, like if you were to use a box with a height like that, that wouldn't be so convenient, because you do have to use your hands inside and over the edges. It's the same board for stone readings and for remote work, and so I do get to use these tools for doing readings as well as tools for crystal surgery and crystal healing sessions. And that's one of the nice things about the board, is that you don't need big crystals like this one in order to get the work done in a short amount of time. You can use small stones and they will still help you move more efficiently through the process and the procedure that you're doing. So that's a big advantage, because collecting big stones and big tools can be expensive, whereas these smaller stones are much more reasonably priced. Crystals are often sold by weight, so that says a lot right there. Okay, so I have my stones that double for reading and as tools if you feel you need protection. So this is a peridot cluster, and here are a few peridot crystals. And then I would like to have a proxy crystal, and I do have this fabulous diamantina wand that looks like a woman in profile, slightly tubby, but we like that. Now, you don't have to use a proxy crystal. You can use a drawing or even a diagram of a person, or you can use a photograph. But I find that the connection from crystal to person is purer and has a stronger energy dynamic than working on a drawing or photograph. But you can also energize a drawing or a photograph with a small crystal if you don't have a nice big proxy crystal like this one. I find that it's better to use a feather for this fanning than a big fan. A big fan's kind of too big and ungainly, and it's over before it's begun. And there's a lot of excellent work that I can do here with the feather. And I think I should just explain what the action of the feather is. I found a good way to explain it, and why a feather is so effective is because the energy field is like a feather in that it's supposed to be closed, but it can open up in this way, like this. And then where that's open, that's where the energy can get in, can invade through there, you see? And then when you do the fanning action on the energy field, you're literally hooking that area back together again, as well as cleaning the energy field. So you're literally smoothing that and getting it all to be sealed so that the energy, outside energies, can't invade your energy field. And so that's something I just understood quite recently, a little nice way to explain it, and why the action of the feather, it's cleaning the way a broom cleans a floor, it's cleaning the energy field, but even more importantly, it's soothing and reconnecting the bits of the energy field. That the energy field is made up of etheric tissue that can open and part in a way that we don't want it to. And so there we are. And so I like to use a feather like this, or a feather built like that, for that purpose. And then it's also easier to use a smaller stone for the sweeping, as I do with this one, like so. clear it as per usual. And then not only does one use a crystal like this as a proxy, but say you want to work on a foot or an internal organ or a part of the body and you need to kind of blow up the size that you're working on. I use this one for the head. It gives me a little bit more space for exploration. I can use these. I've used these for the feet, to represent the feet. I've used them to represent kidneys. I've used them to represent a knee. I've had to work on someone's knee and I needed to get in detail, and so I used this bigger stone. So those are the kind of things that you can add in. And of course, again, you can do drawings of the organs and work from a drawing, or you can use photographs. They will work. For setting myself up, you will see that often I am wearing this crystal around my neck. This is something very, very, very precious to me. This is from my friend Ro Patterson, who lives in Denver, Colorado, and I met her when I did the Melody Crystal Healing training, and she sent me this Faden crystal as a gift, and there's the Faden line. It's very nice and big, and I use it to connect to Ro, who's a very supportive person in my life, and also to connect to the etheric dimension, because that is what a Faden crystal does. It can connect you through that white line, which is actually a hollow tube. You can get a direct connection to the etheric dimension, and I use this to reach across to the etheric dimension to people that have passed over, whom I love and care for, and I want them to continue loving and caring for me. It's very moving, and it does work, and it is helpful. Remotely, one is projecting energy, kind of like presenting in front of a big audience. You have to project your energy. You have to project your energy when you do remote work to reach across what we perceive as a gap. Of course, there's no such thing as time or space in the etheric dimension, but coming from our dimension, we still do perceive those spaces and those time lapses and so on. I do have some other precious items here. The nice thing with a crystal healing board is that you can use jewelry. And so I can use this citrine in this ring. My mom also gave me this brooch with a pin, and it is one of my best healing tools, and it's very, very useful. I use it in regular sessions, and I like to use it on the healing board as well. This item is very important. Gold is a very healing mineral. It's actually the most healing, and this is a gold medallion that my Uncle Harry gave me when I was a little girl. And when doing healing work and looking for gold, this is my go-to piece. And I can use it when doing healing work. I can infuse this amazing loving energy and this beautiful symbol into the work that I'm doing in this kind of way. I can lay it on the person in that way by putting it on the Proxy crystal, and of course I can wear it as well. Gorgeous Awesome also sent me this. It's actually a hairpin, but what a fantastic point that is, and energized by this crystal, and then with my favorite spiral motif. Now that is a fantastic healing tool, and I could put it in my hair, but I can also use it here on my remote board, or even in a regular session, and it's got two usable ends. I can turn it this way, and I can turn it this way. Well, that's pretty neat, isn't it? I've been looking forward to the moment of using this in this way for a while now, and I just think these are fabulous, fabulous tools. This is a very comforting piece of jewelry. I can wear it, but I can also use it as a healing tool, and it is amazing and wonderful. And again, it's because of the quality of the craft. that has gone into it, as well as the selection of the stones. There's something really good about this piece. And the copper, of course, gives a strong effect as well. So the copper here and the copper there. And this is a way to bring extra dynamics beyond what you even know into the healing moment, is by adding in pieces that have got a whole story and a whole dynamic to them before you've even begun to put in the healing intention. Another fabulous exploration is that little miniature crystals that are clearly beautiful can also be used. These are little Colombian Lemurians, and this is a new kind of quartz that's just recently come out, and of the earth, that is, and they are combining the clarity of a diamantina and the clarity and sparkle of a diamantina with the shape and other properties of a Lemurian. And so that's all in one. It's as if it's a combined diamantina and Lemurian. And I just love working with these little tools. They're great. They can substitute for me with a crystal healing board. So there we are. And I can do my actions with these little mini tools. There I am opening the energy field, and then I can close the energy field as well, like that. And it's amazingly satisfying to work with a little stone like this. Let's see what else we have here. So I see my cornelians. So here we got for the second chakra stones. So the second chakra on my proxy crystal, if this is the feet, and this will be the root chakra. So the second chakra is here, just where the little tummy bulge is on the proxy crystal. How excellent is that? Good marker. And we can put a grounding stone. So this is a little red jasper. You can put that there at the feet, and it will also affect the whole of the root chakra. And we would want a little yellow, so that would be Heliodor. And this is my nice Heliodor crystal, so that's for the solar plexus. I'll put it there. And then what you can do is alternate sides if the stones start to push each other out of position. You can use this azurite on the third eye, which is going to be there. We didn't have a heart stone in place, but I do have quite a few heart stones, and I know there's a kunzite. It's here. So we'll put the kunzite this side, and the azurite there. And then we just need a little amethyst, so we have that here, and that will go at the crown chakra. And I think what we can do is place it like so. There we are. And of course you can add in anything that you want. So you get a set of chakra stones for your board. And then after that you just want to get your tools. And it's fun to have these miniature ones. This is a little pewter purba. And actually this works as well as any purba. You can use this on an in-person, but it's nice to use on the board like so, and goes really, really well with these miniature ones. Do some V-gridding here with the purba and the Colombian quartz. Pretty powerful. And you can see it's a very smooth way of working once you get it all figured out. I've really been enjoying doing remote work during the lockdown. I think the thing I've been enjoying the most is how effective it is. And we use remote work to connect with others, but it's also the best way to work on yourself if you understand the dynamics clearly enough. So I do have some miniature ones. There's another copper wand, and it's got a nice shaped crystal there. That's actually a kind of it's a Farden crystal. This is a ragonite on this end. It's very satisfying with the little wands. If we grid this way, join in with the etheric dimension. Very good. And as I'm working on the healing board, what happens is that the screen, the mind screen, which is the screen inside my mind, is picking up information. Its imagery emanates and deposits itself on my mind screen. It stimulates my mind screen in a certain way, and then I can see what I'm doing by looking on the mind screen. So I've got two visuals going on. I've got the visual as I'm working on the board, but then I have another intuition sighting that I'm seeing what's going on energetically in quite a lot of detail too on the mind screen. But I have to say it took a lot of practice to get my mind screen that developed, and it is something that you can systematically learn. Practice, 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 that's the key. That's one of my little miniature tools. This one is the same tool, one that I use in an in-person session, but it's a nice for a miniature as well. I do use my big regular wands in these proxy crystal sessions as well, because some of them I can't really replace with small ones, and they work very well. It's another way. They're very focused, they're very concentrated in their effect, and so working on a proxy crystal, it works really, really, really well, even to use a big wand. It doesn't have to be miniature. There's just something satisfying about the miniature tools. And for energy generating stones, you just don't need to have those very big ones like you do for an in-person session to have a stronger effect. You can use smaller crystals like these, and there we are. We can pump up the energy field via energy generating using quite small crystals, because the proportionate effect is very, very, very satisfactory. That's excellent. Wow. So there we are. That's how to put a crystal healing board together. And please do look in the verbal description to get more details, because that's where you'll find the resources and a brief overview of all the content of this presentation. Thank you.